I have decided to do my 5th community health education project on the dermatological condition known as scabies. I encountered scabies during one of my clinical days recently, and I felt the need to research it further. Scabies is an itchy skin condition caused by the microscopic mite Scabies scabii. Scabies is one of the most common dermatological medical conditions. The microscopic mite that causes scabies burrows into the skin on the upper layers where it lives and also where it lays its eggs. The eggs quickly hatch and continue to spread the infestation. Scabies is common all over the world, and it can spread very quickly from person to person. Many people know that scabies in humans is similar to mange in animals, but humans cannot catch scabies from animals who have mange. Symptoms of scabies include pimple-like irritations, rash, intense itching, especially at night, sores that are caused by scratching, crusted areas, and linear burrows. This image illustrates the linear burrow caused by the mite and the eggs that it leaves behind. Crusted areas often happen after excess scratching. Once a person has crusted areas, they are at the highest level of contagiousness. People are most likely to catch it when a person has crusted areas and they come into contact for extended periods of time with this person, or they come into contact with things this person has touched. This could even include furniture that the person has sat in. Diagnosing scabies starts with observing the appearance and the distribution of rash. Just like we know that poison ivy can cause a very linear rash that often leaks serum, we can learn the identifying factors of a rash related to scabies, particularly the crusted scabies. We also can learn to observe the presence of burrows, which in the image on the right, you can see the small linear areas. These areas are representative of burrows in this infant's skin. The only way to truly diagnose scabies is to safely do a skin scrape onto a slide and observe it under a microscope. We would be looking for an actual mite on the slide or the presence of eggs. However, you may not see either in someone who has a scabies infestation. How do we treat scabies? The most common methods of treating scabies are topical scabicides. This includes 5% permethrin. It may include 0.5% malathion in an aqueous base. It may include 10 to 25% benzoate emulsion. It may include a 5 to 10% sulfur ointment. And in many countries, oil ivermectin is an approved treatment, and it has been proven to be very effective. Please observe whether this treatment is approved in your country and do not purchase animal-grade ivermectin for the purposes of using it in a person. A lot of these treatments are over-the-counter, but it is still best to consult with your physician before starting these treatments, as it's the only way you can have a true diagnosis of scabies. Controlling and preventing scabies can be very, very difficult, as the first time a person is infested with scabies mites, they may not show any symptoms for up to 4 to 8 weeks. This is how long it may take the mites to burrow, to cause a reaction and irritation, to cause the itchiness that leads to the crusted areas, which eventually lead to the spread. An infested person can transmit scabies even when they have no symptoms because of this long incubation period. Scabies is usually passed by direct prolonged skin-to-skin contact with an infested person. Once the scabies is crusted, or if a person has Norwegian scabies, it can be spread by brief skin-to-skin contact or exposure to things like bedding, sharing an article of clothing, or sharing the same furniture. Scabies is most common among community settings, particularly community care settings, such as nursing homes, long-term care facilities, hospitals, among those who are long-term travelers, most frequently those who travel for more than 8 weeks at a time, so likely people who travel for business or people who travel for the winter and live in multiple different areas throughout the year. Scabies is actually an endemic in resource-poor tropical settings. Organizations such as the World Health Organization is currently working towards preventing the continued spread in these resource-poor areas. Scabies is a parasitic infection, and it can be prevented. Scabies is one of the most common dermatological conditions. It accounts for a substantial proportion of skin diseases in developing countries, as we just mentioned, countries that may be the resource-poor tropical countries. Globally, it is estimated that more than 200 million people at any time have scabies. There are additional things that we can do to prevent scabies, and further research is needed, and global outreach is needed as well. Prevalence estimate in recent scabies-related literature have a very wide range, likely due to the region this literature was researched in. It can be anywhere from 0.2% to 71% of the local population. For additional resources, please see these references. I found it very helpful to utilize the CDC and the World Health Organization, as there are multiple different tabs on these websites that allow you to quickly skip through treatments, symptoms, diagnosis, and the endemic areas of the world and how we can get involved in helping stop the endemic factor that scabies has become in some areas. There are also other reliable websites such as the Community Disease Service website listed and the Community Health website